You ever notice how, somehow, everyone today is deep? Everyone's a philosopher until you talk to them for more than 3 minutes. We live in a strange time. You open Instagram and boom, a Nietzsche quote posted by someone who panics when choosing a pizza topping. And don't get me wrong, I used to be that person too. That's the problem. Knowledge has become decoration. Not something you understand, just something you wear. Like a rare Fortnite skin, but philosophical. Welcome to the age of the luxury parrot. People repeating brilliant ideas, with absolutely zero idea how those ideas were built. And the worst part? They think thinking means memorizing what other people thought. But real critical thinking, the real kind, begins the moment your brain admits, okay, I actually have no idea what I'm talking about. And today, I'm going to show you why nearly everyone thinks they think, but very few people actually do. Here's the uncomfortable truth you were never supposed to hear. Your brain hates thinking. It avoids it the same way you avoid messages that start with "we need to talk." Real thinking is slow, heavy, and uncomfortable. So your brain cheats. It gives you the illusion of thought, a mental screensaver, and you never notice the difference. You scroll, see a quote like, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." You nod, you feel wise for a moment. Then you go back to acting like everyone else. That's not thinking. That's emotional fast food. Tastes good, does nothing. And the strangest part? Most people aren't even aware it's happening. They confuse reaction with reflection, scrolling with studying, opinions with understanding. It's like watching someone buy gym clothes and calling it working out. No, you just bought the costume. Critical thinking is the opposite. It's inconvenient. It forces you to stop, to question, to say the one sentence people fear more than death. What if I'm wrong? But people don't want to be wrong. They want to feel right. And emotions are the easiest things to manipulate. That's why your brain loves shortcuts. It prefers certainty over truth, comfort over clarity, noise over insight. And the worst part? It happens so quietly, so naturally, that you mistake autopilot for intelligence. In this video, we're going to break that illusion piece by piece. Not to make you smarter, but to make you aware. Because awareness is the first real thought you've had all day. Here's the funny thing about modern intelligence. Most people don't think. They borrow thoughts. Your mind becomes a rental car. You drive it like it's yours. Act like it's yours. Show it off like it's yours. But the moment something breaks, you blame the company you rented it from. That's what happens with opinions today. People say things like, "I think society is collapsing," or "capitalism is the problem," or "humans are inherently good." But ask them why, and suddenly the Wi-Fi signal of their brain drops to zero. Because those aren't their ideas. They're quotes, overheard conversations, TikToks, podcast fragments, mental leftovers microwaved into beliefs. And honestly, it's not even their fault. We're raised to consume ideas, not challenge them. School teaches you to repeat, not question. Social media teaches you to react, not reflect. And society, well, society rewards obedience dressed as intelligence. But here's the twist. Borrowed opinions feel good. They're safe. They come pre-packaged with confidence. You don't have to think. You just have to remember. And remembering is easy. Thinking is not. Thinking means standing alone, naked in front of the unknown, with nothing but your own brain, and praying it doesn't embarrass you. Most people would rather die. That's why critical thinking is rare. Not because people are stupid, but because comfort is addictive. And borrowed opinions? They're the most comfortable bed you will ever sleep in. But eventually, you wake up. And when you do, everything you believe starts cracking. Don't worry. That's the beginning of real intelligence. There comes a moment, and it usually happens quietly, when your mind finally says, "Wait, what if everything I believe is just noise I collected from other people?" It doesn't feel heroic. It feels terrifying, like the mental version of realizing your entire house was built out of cardboard. This is the moment people avoid their whole lives. Because once you question one belief, you start questioning all of them. Your values, your opinions, your political stance, your identity, your entire personality. The whole psychological Jenga tower suddenly starts shaking. Most people slam the door shut right here. They'd rather protect the illusion of certainty than walk into the wilderness of honest thought. But not you. You're here. You wouldn't be watching something like this if your brain wasn't already uncomfortable. And discomfort is good. It means the illusion is breaking. You start noticing things that were always there, but hidden behind autopilot. You realize how often you agree just to avoid conflict. How many ideas you defend that aren't even yours. How much of your personality was downloaded from your environment, not developed by you. And then the scariest realization hits. You've been living on mental training wheels. Thoughts you didn't choose. Beliefs you didn't check. Opinions you didn't build. A mind shaped by default settings. This is the exact moment where real intelligence begins. Not with knowledge, not with quotes, not with deep thoughts, but with a simple, brutal, honest confession. I don't know. 3 words that almost nobody dares to say, because they tear down your ego, expose your pride, and leave you naked with your own limitations. But these 3 words are the doorway to actual thinking. They're the price of admission to a real mind. Most people never pay it. You just did. So you've opened the door. You've admitted, I don't know. Congratulations. You've just triggered the psychological equivalent of deleting the operating system that's been running your life. Because the moment you stop pretending you have everything figured out, your mind does something dramatic. It free falls. Not physically, existentially. It feels like losing gravity, like all the meanings you collected. From society, school, religion, parents, social media, that one motivational guy on TikTok, suddenly lose their shape, and your brain freaks out. It starts throwing every fear at you. Who am I without these beliefs? What if nothing matters? What if I never figure anything out? That panic? That confusion? That I'm floating in the void feeling? That's the exact signal that you're finally thinking for yourself. Because here's the paradox nobody tells you. Before your mind becomes strong, it must first break. Before you gain clarity, you must pass through chaos. Before you think independently, you must experience the collapse of borrowed truths. This is why most people run back to comforting illusions. They'd rather cling to a belief, even a wrong one, than face the emptiness of uncertainty. But thinkers, real thinkers, the rare ones, they keep falling. Not because they're brave, but because something in them refuses to live inside a mental cage built by everyone else. Here's the twist. The free fall doesn't kill you. It rebuilds you. As the old meanings fall away, your mind begins creating new ones. Not inherited, not absorbed, not copied, but handcrafted by your own consciousness. This is where your real identity starts forming. Quietly, slowly, painfully, but authentically. You're not becoming empty. You're becoming real. You're not losing meaning. You're preparing to build one that's yours. You're not falling into nothingness. You're falling out of illusion. And when you finally land, your mind will not be the same kind of mind the world tried to give you. It'll be yours. Entirely yours. Here's the part nobody prepares you for. When you start thinking critically, really thinking, you don't just analyze ideas. You start dissecting yourself, piece by piece, belief by belief, illusion by illusion. And it feels like a funeral you didn't plan, because in the process of questioning everything around you, you accidentally begin questioning you, your habits, your fears, your personality, your identity, your principles that were never really yours. It's not pretty. It's not poetic. It's a psychological autopsy. And the truth is blunt. Most of what you called your identity is nothing but a collage of other people's expectations, childhood scripts, cultural programming, and the survival mechanisms of a younger version of yourself. Critical thinking doesn't just kill ignorance. It kills the person who depended on it. At first, you resist. Your ego screams, "Stop digging. Stop questioning. Stop changing." Your ego wants to protect the version of you that feels familiar, even if that version is miserable, limited, and outdated. But then something strange happens. As the old you dies, you feel a silence. Not the silence of emptiness, the silence of space. Space to think without fear. Space to choose without guilt. space to exist without acting, space to become someone you consciously decide to be. And that's when the truth hits. Critical thinking isn't about being right. It isn't about sounding smart. It isn't about intellectual superiority. It's about freedom. Freedom from mental cages. Freedom from emotional autopilot. Freedom from inherited narratives that shaped you before you could speak. The old you dies, but the new you isn't born instantly. There's a gap, the psychological limbo, a space where you feel lost, unanchored, floating. But that floating, that uncertainty, that's creation. You're not breaking down. You're breaking open. The person you will become needs the person you were to let go. And for the first time, you're not reacting. You're not copying. You're not performing. You are choosing. This is the birth of the thinker. Quiet, uncelebrated, uncomfortable, but real. Most creatures fear the dark, but the moose learns to walk straight into it. For days, it wanders beyond the familiar trees, into a part of the forest no animal chooses to enter. Not because predators wait there, but because nothing waits there. No path, no light, no purpose, just emptiness. And that's when the moose realizes it's something humans rarely accept. Meaninglessness isn't a trap. It's a door. Most creatures fear the dark, but the moose learns to walk straight into it. For days, it wanders beyond the familiar trees, into a part of the forest no animal chooses to enter. Not because predators wait there, but because nothing waits there. No path, no light, no purpose, just emptiness. And that's when a moose realizes something humans rarely accept. Meaninglessness isn't a trap. It's a door. Because when nothing has inherent meaning, everything becomes possible. There are no rules left to follow. No expectations left to fail. No destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Only freedom, the kind that terrifies most people. The moose stops under a dead, leafless tree. The wind doesn't blow. The world feels paused, as if waiting for the moose to decide what reality will be. And then, it laughs. Not out loud. Moose don't laugh. But something inside it breaks open, like a crack in the universe itself. A realization. If nothing matters, then I get to choose what matters. The chaos around him becomes a blank canvas. The existential void turns into a playground. The darkness becomes a companion instead of an enemy. And perhaps this is the most dangerous idea in the entire moose theory. Not that existence is absurd. Not that life is meaningless. But that meaninglessness sets you free. Because once you stop searching for a purpose, you start creating one that the moose walks forward with a new posture that in the end, meaninglessness didn't destroy the moose. It liberated it. And maybe, just maybe, it could liberate you too. No longer lost. Not found either. Something else entirely. Self-defined.